Peace and blessings. This is Ashaki Ali, better known as the True Lioness, coming at you with a special Mother's Day video. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, first of all, and to myself. And I just want to share some experiences that I went through since I've been a mother. So, first of all, I have 6 children, 4 sons and 2 daughters. The oldest is 19 years old. He'll be 20 in a few months. Um, and my baby is 5 years old. I have 4 sons and 2 daughters that I'm very blessed to be a parent of. Nevertheless, so having being a teenage mom was very challenging. First of all, the father of my son was not involved, and he was doing a lot of things that were illegal. He was very mean spirited. I didn't know that part until after I was pregnant. And it was like my mother, whom, we have our own struggles, she couldn't see, he would present himself one way to her. But then when we would be alone or he would, have me by myself, he would show this very mean side. But he didn't support me through my pregnancy. I was ostracized by family members. My mother, especially, was especially hard on me. And I can understand being upset if your 15-year-old is pregnant. But at the same token, the baby was, had already been conceived. There was no need to keep attacking. But I was under constant attack during that period of time. And I used to cry. But I used to promise my baby, my unborn, that I would never be the mother to him that I had experienced from the mother that I was given. Nevertheless, I had, matter of fact, I remember vividly one of the worst experiences I had as a mother or a pregnant teenager. Um, I began to show. I was able to hide my pregnancy. I didn't show until I was about 6 or 7 months old, pregnant. But I remember vividly going to my locker. My locker was on the lower level. Now lockers are stacked. Mine was on the bottom, and the guy above me, I was, bending down. I had to kind of strain to get down to my, down into the locker to get my books out to go home that afternoon. And he looked at me and he said, "You a damn fool." And I looked at him and I said, "What?" He never said anything to me much. And he said, you should have had an abortion while you could have." And it just got all over me. To this day, matter of fact, I saw him, I want to say last weekend, and I was looking nice. I was going to have take myself for a drink or just out somewhere, and he made eye contact with me. And every time I have seen him since that time, I make it clear to him I have nothing ever to say to him. But anyway, he looked at me. He just dropped his head, which is fine. That's what I want you to do because that was wrong of him to even say that. That's just one of the worst experiences. But being a teenage mom, you give up. Well, I gave up a lot of the freedoms that I had. A lot of things that my friends were doing, I could not do because I had a son. But it also made me laser focused on my goals and achieving them to escape, what I felt was bad and dysfunctional circumstances, which I did. My mother was dating someone that was addicted to drugs. My mother drank heavily at this time as well. And it was just not a environment I wanted to raise my son in. So at 17, I moved on my own. Now, I didn't have any more children until my son was about 7. But when I was 19 years old, I was diagnosed with cervical cancer. And they told me I couldn't have children. I was in an abusive marriage. Yes, I was married at 19, young and dumb. But anyway, I was in an abusive marriage. Come to find out I had cervical cancer. I had surgery. They told me if I was to get pregnant, it would be a miracle. But several years after that, I did become pregnant with my now 12-year-old son. And after that, I had 4 more children after that. So, but being a mother has taught me to not to just love unconditionally. I never had a problem doing that. Um, I never had a problem not being selfish. If anything, I give too much of myself to others. But it has taught me to be real tough because obstacles, no doubt, will come. But motherhood has taught me how to navigate in such a manner that you're doing so much that you don't realize how hard you're going. But when your children recognize you for being their hero, it really touches you deeply. My children have written papers about me, saying that I'm their hero, um, that I'm their favorite person. My 5-year-old makes me blush because he will say, "You're my favorite girl. You my woman. You're my, I love you so much." He'll get up and he'll say, "You look beautiful today." And he's 5 years old, but he genuinely means that. He genuinely loves his mother, and I adore my children. I'm tough, and I can be very strict, but I will give them any and everything I have, without question. And it's an amazingly beautiful journey to be this mom that I am. An old friend used to call me Super Mom because um, because he said you never miss anything of your children's, or if you do, you always make it up. You always talking about them. The way that your eyes twinkle, he's like, "You Super Mom. You can do anything." And I'm like, "Don't do that." He said, "All you need is the cape." He would tease me relentlessly. Nevertheless, I didn't want to talk too long, but I just wanted to drop in and share that. And I also want to give young mothers a few words of wisdom. Don't listen to the naysayers. You be the very best mother that you can be. I hear a lot of people saying, them young mamas, they don't know nothing. They don't do this. Well, my mother was an adult when she had me, and it wasn't all peachy. So age has nothing to do with your ability to be a mother. Trust your spirit, trust your gut, and trust your heart when it comes to your children, and you will always be good. You will always be fine. But you raise your children, be mindful of what you're doing, but also be gentle with yourself. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes, and it's all right to go back and apologize. I've apologized to my children if I felt that I was a little bit too rash, or if they were accused of something and then later was found out that they didn't do it. Of course, I'll apologize to my children, because I want them to see that, mom is fair, but mom is, I'm loving, excuse me, and I'm stern, but I'm fair. Um, don't listen to people that try to judge you for being a young mother. Yeah, well, if I, had my choice, I wouldn't have been a parent so early. I would have tried to enjoy my youth. But that was what was in the cards for me. That was what the universe would have me to do. And guess what? That child of mine, he is not perfect by any means, but he is my son, and he's doing pretty well. He's gainfully employed, and he has his own place in his own vehicle. And that's saying a lot, because there's a lot of people that's twice his age that don't have one of the things that I just mentioned. Not to say material is everything, but it is important. And he also is gaining knowledge of self, which is beautiful. He shared some information with me, and he asked, what I thought about certain things. And, he was right on point. He was sharing some history that he had researched. And he was like, Mom, I remember you used to say blah, blah, blah. It's beautiful. It's lovely. And not only that, just the life lessons that I taught him. Now he said he's beginning to really apply the things that he was taught, because I would take him with me when I would pay bills and I would do these things. So that's lovely. It's beautiful to me. That's what it's all about. But young mothers, you just keep on going, because guess what? Those children won't be young forever. They won't be babies forever. And I know you want to have fun, and you can do that. Have fun, but be responsible, because after you give birth, those children, they're going to take its priority. Yes, you come first, because you got to take care of yourself before you can take care of anybody. An empty vessel, you can't pour from an empty vessel, so you got to take care of yourself. But you also have to make sure you're maintaining those children, because they depended on you for everything. You're their first teacher, so make sure that the messages and the image that you portray to them is what you want them to aspire to. If you want them to aspire to greatness, you can't be walking around here being, not being great, or not pushing yourself to be the best. My children tell me, like my oldest, he'll say, "Mom, I'll never catch up to you because you never stop. And I say, son, it's not about catching me. It's about catching yourself and being your greatest version. What's good for you may not be good for me, and what's good for me may not be good for you. So 20 years ago, I became a mother. Almost 20 years ago, I became a mother. I'm 36 years old. I've learned a lot. I'm still learning because we don't come with an instruction booklet in our brains that tells us how to parent. I'm always looking for additional help because I still have kids I'm trying to raise, and I want them to be consciously aware of what it is. I want them to be spiritually acute, and I want them to be loving individuals, but I mostly want them to become their greatest version, to give the gift that they have been that was instilled in their spirit to this world before they depart. Um, and that's what you should strive to do as well. We're supposed to, they're like little arrows that we shoot out into this world, and they have packages to deliver, gifts to give, and we need to be helping them cultivate those gifts. And we need for them to know and understand the world that they live in, the ugliness of it, the realness of it, but also the beauty of it. So this has been Ashaki Ali. I hope you've enjoyed my little short, I think I'm close to 12 minutes, not too long, rant about Mother's Day to all the mothers and the mother's mother, to the great ancestral mothers, to our spirit mothers and all the goddesses. Thank you. Thank you. And gratitude to you. I thank you so much for everything that you have given us and continue to give us in our spirits and in our lives. Until next time, peace, love, and light to everyone. I love you all. Take care.